Good morning, good evening, and good night. I am Shams, the producer, here to elevate, educate, and motivate you on a Monday. And guess what? On today's video, as you can see from the title, we found it. I have found it. We have found it. The formula to making a hit crossover record. But before we get into that, watch this clip.
Authentic dancehall records from scratch. In other words, we didn't have to rely on it being big in Jamaica to cross over, quote unquote. We were able to just make records just from the ground up in the studio, and it just worked. But I think it's a theory that it took a lot of convincing for the other players in Jamaica to understand that it was possible. So in their brain, no man, it has to be big here before we can cross over. And I kept saying this thing, we need to make a crossover record, which is nonsense, because nobody sets out to make a crossover record. You just make the best record you can make.
How do you feel about that clip? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I will let you know how I feel right after this. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And before we get into this video, I'm going to ask you to please go ahead and drop a like and also subscribe so you'll be notified every time I upload new videos. And also, when you like my videos, YouTube is more likely to show you videos of these type and more of my stuff when I upload. So anyway, let's get into it. I have the formula for making hit records. No, I don't. Simply put, there is no formula for a hit record. There is no formula for a crossover record. I see it too many times. Producers, artists go in the studio saying, yes, we're going to make a crossover record. We're going to make a hit record. The problem is, when you go into a recording studio with that mindset, you're focusing on the wrong thing. You're focusing on the end result instead of focusing on the process. You cannot focus on it's like saying, oh, I'm going to win $1 million. I'm going to get $1 million. Okay, but what are you doing to get that money? Understand? So don't focus on the result. Don't focus on the consequence, as Shahad Guru would say. Don't focus on the consequence. Focus on the process. Focus on the journey. So you go into a recording studio. Let's make the best song that we can make. How about that? Make the best song that you can make. And then if the people love it, then it will reach where it needs to go. It's as simple as that, Make the best song that you can make, and then when the fans hear it, the fans will determine. And that's another thing about making crossover records, crossover this, crossover that, and pop records. What is a pop record? Pop just really means popular. That's what it is defined as, So you can do a dancehall or a reggae song, but once it crosses over into that market, it becomes a pop hit record, because that's the popular song of the time. Millions of people listening to it, so that is what defines what a pop song is, or a pop hit record is. But anyway, I digress. Making a hit song boils down to just making a good song. Who determines if it's a hit record? The fans. Nobody else. You could listen, I have known situations where people spend money promoting songs and PR and all of these things. If the song just not working, it's not working. You can't force the consumer to love a song enough to make it into a hit song. It don't work like that. So my advice is just go into the recording studio, go into the voice room, go wherever you're doing your songs. Go into it with the mindset of, I'm going to make the best song that I can make. Don't think about, I'm making a hit record for that market, I'm making a crossover record for this market. No. Think about it like, I'm just going to make a great song. Creativity comes from within, so you can't be looking externally for that inspiration. And trust me, when you just sit down and lock in and just vibe and get that right vibe, you'll get the best song. And it might not be that worldwide banger, but it might do well in a particular country or a particular region. You understand? So stop looking for that global banger. That will happen when the time is right. Look at Coffee. Coffee time was perfect. I cannot say it enough. I've said it on Twin Talks Tuesday that I do with my brother. and coffee timing was just perfect. And it's not about, I'm sure when they went into the studio, they didn't say, oh, I'm trying to make a crossover record, I'm trying to make a this record or that record. They just went into the studio and made a record, and it worked. Similarly, Sean Paul back in 2000, when they did Give Me the Light, you think Sean Paul really was saying, yo, that weed song I gotta take me upon the next level, this weed song is gonna be the next big thing? No, nobody was thinking that. Triton Remy had a rhythm, and Sean Paul did his song on it, and the song was released like a year or a year and a half before it took off. And this is just how the business works. You can never know when that big break is gonna happen. So get your mind, as I said before, get your mind out of this, oh, I'm gonna make a crossover record, I'm gonna make a hit record. It don't work like that. Just do good music and it will happen whenever it is supposed to happen. So that's it in a nutshell now. As I said before, I am Shams, the producer, here to elevate and to educate and also to motivate you. We talk about music business and, you know, try to motivate artists and inspire artists and producers that are on the developing side of things. Please go ahead and like this video and also subscribe to my channel so you will be notified every time I upload a new video. And also, if you'd like to know what equipment I use for music production and video production, I have left the links in the description below. You can order through Amazon, which it won't cost you any extra, but yes, I will get a commission. So, give thanks for your support and thanks for watching all my videos. And you don't know, see you next week for more. Big up.